Nex Machina is the newest twin-stick shooter from Housemarque. It's my first Housemarque game. So how did I feel about Nex Machina? What did I think? What is my review? We're going to be talking about that right now. What's up, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. We're going to finally be getting back to reviews and rants in the spotlights after the long break from E3 and those other things. And the first one back up is Nex Machina, a twin-stick shooter from Housemarque that released on PlayStation and PC on June 20th for $20. And oh boy, this one had me feeling a lot of different emotions, a lot of different things the more and more I played of it. So at its core, Nex Machina is a furious and frantic twin-stick shooter with a ridiculously awesome graphical style. You play through these levels, and you get to a little stage in the level, and there'll be a set of enemies. And once you destroy those set of enemies, you kind of blast off into the next section. And that honestly never really got old for as long as I played the game. Now, the video you're watching, this is from the first stage of the game. I am playing on Experience difficulty. I've beaten the game on Rookie. I've beaten the game on Experience in Arcade mode. And this collection of footage is from the Experience difficulty. Now, what I really like about this game, graphical style is amazing, the art, the enemy designs, like, they all just pop. You know, just from the enemy designs, which enemies mean business and which ones are just kind of the grunts that are just there to kind of throw things at you. It controls extremely well. Obviously, you move with left stick and you shoot with right stick. You have a dash that is vital. It is absolutely vital that you learn how to dash in this game. You dash with left L2 or left trigger. I'm used to the Xbox controls, and you're invincible through the duration of the dash, and you will need that. You will need that because there are parts later on, boss fights or different enemies, where you definitely need to chain your dashes through the bullets so you don't get hurt. And right trigger uses your special power-up that you got. So as you play through the game, as you play through the levels, it progressively gets harder. They throw new enemies at you, but the way they help you defeat those enemies is you kind of level up your character. They'll drop a triple dash, which means you can dash 3 times in a row. A dash explosion, so that at the end of your dash, you'll explode and any enemies will be killed at the end of the explosion. You get a weapon range upgrade for your gun, so you can shoot farther, and a weapon spread upgrade for your gun, so you can shoot more bullets at once. You also get a shield, because you're going to die a lot in this game. You are going to die quite a bit, and it only takes 1 hit for you to die. So that shield is important. It lets you be able to take 2. Now, at its core, this game is a score-based game. It is a leaderboard chasing game. And how you do that is the more enemies you kill, the points you get for it. But the game also has these humans scattered around the playfield that you pick up to increase the combo. This game is basically a Robotron remade for a new era. I'm not even sure what the story is. You're just one dude against an apocalypse of computers, I guess. I'm not sure because they don't really talk about it. But your goal is to basically beat the levels and save as many humans as possible. Now, the game is short. The game is short, especially when you play in Rookie. You can beat the arcade mode on Rookie difficulty in about half an hour. Experienced will take you more. And each of the difficulties have a different set of things they'll give you. So on Rookie difficulty, you get unlimited continues. So you basically just play to your heart's content until you beat all the different stages. And there are 5 stages to beat on arcade. And then when you actually play it on Experience, there is a 6th stage. Now on Experience, they give you 99 continues, more enemies and more humans to save, and enemies are faster and they kind of shoot more often. And then on the next difficulty up, you have 10 continues, more enemies. You know, I mean, you get the gist. And then the final one, I think you have 5 continues. Now, normally, you start with 3 lives. And every time you die, you drop one of your power-ups, whether it's a laser or whether it's your weapon spread. And you can then go pick it up from where you died. The thing is, if you die again before getting it, similar to Dark Souls, it's gone and you have to re-earn it. Which kind of will get into one of the biggest issues and a lot of frustration I've seen a lot of people have, as well as myself, especially with some of the later boss fights, are surrounding the death spiral that this game has. So like I said before, as you progress, you get things to make your character better. Weapon spread, weapon upgrades, triple dashes to avoid attacks and things like that. But the game gets pretty difficult. Not so much on Rookie. Rookie's pretty easy. You will have no trouble with that. But when you start on Experience difficulty, you'll start feeling it there, especially when you get towards the end. And the final boss in this game isn't a joke. Now, we're looking at footage here from the first boss in the game. Now, just imagine this, but a million times worse. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. And the thing is, when you die, when you lose your lives and continue, you basically start with nothing. So if you get to the final boss and you lose all your lives or any part in these worlds, you need these upgrades to continue. And when you die and continue, you have no upgrades. So it makes it extremely difficult to complete certain areas of the game because you've lost all of your great stuff. So it took me 30 continues or so to beat the final boss because I basically was just starting fresh. And I was grabbing a power-up like a laser to help me beat the final boss, but it was so ridiculous because I couldn't dash and I couldn't take a hit that I just kept on dying over and over and over again. And that spiral is what a lot of people his main issue is with the game. But it is also it does give you that sense when you beat it of accomplishment. Like, oh yes, I beat this, and that's great. Now there are other modes for you to play on. There's the arcade mode, like I mentioned, with the 4 difficulties. There is a single world mode where you can just, hey, if you want to play the first level and get good at that, you can do that as well. There's also an arena mode, which sets up a score for you to attain, bronze, silver, and gold, and they'll give modifiers, like enemies are faster, you're faster, things like that, and there's a whole set. It also has the leaderboard rankings cross-platform, since it's on PC, and you can kind of fight with your friends and that thing. And that's kind of what this game is all about. It's about chasing those leaderboard scores. But honestly, I had a blast playing this game. I beat it 2 times. I beat it on arcade and experience. I've done a couple of the arenas, gotten gold on a few of them. I've done a couple of the single areas. I'm probably gonna shelve this game for now. I do have some Uncharted to finish, but man, I enjoyed this game greatly. It is a fantastic twin stick shooter with a great art style, and I just love watching, even when I'm watching the replay of this, like I just love watching it because it just looks so good. It looks so good. But then you come down to, would I recommend it to you guys? It is $20, and yes, you can play it one time and beat in 30. So if you are a hardcore twin stick shooter fan, if you love twin stick shooters, you owe it to yourself to pick this game up because it is that good. It is that good of a twin stick shooter, and if you are a huge fan of that genre, definitely pick this game up. If you're not, if you want a game that's going to give you longevity but you're not really looking for the leaderboard score chase, then I would take a pass on it for $20. You won't get your money's worth, especially if you're only going to play it a couple times. I would wait for a sale. But I gotta say, I played it for about 5 hours. I beat it twice. I did all the different modes. The game controls sublimely. It's just that death spiral, man. When you're fully geared up and you have all the great items and things, and you're just constantly going through all these different levels without dying, you really do have that great sense of accomplishment. Like, yes, this is badass. I am just destroying everything in front of me. And there are different things to chase, so even if you don't want to compete for leaderboard stuff, you can go back and you can play it and find secret levels, secret humans to find and things like that. But it's just a fantastic game, but with limited appeal or replayability if you're not at the, chasing the leaderboards. So all in all, while I did greatly enjoy my time with it, and it is a very competent, one of the best twin stick shooters I've ever played. Some of the negatives kind of drag it down. The short arcade mode with no story. The death spiral that can really screw you over and have to restart runs is kind of ridiculous to a certain extent, and you have to replay whole levels just to get those power-ups again if you don't want to slog through it. But otherwise, I think if you're really into twin-stick shooters, you always have to pick this game up. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this game a solid 8. It would probably be a 9, honestly, but the short arcade mode combined with the death spiral stuff really kind of brings it down, in my opinion, and doesn't reach the height it should be. But hey, for my first house marquee game, which they've also made Super Stardust HD and what was the other one? Resogun. I haven't played either of those. This is my first one. I think this is still an excellent game, and check it out if you have a PS4 and a PC. That's the vid, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing for more content, and I will see everybody later.